Hey there, pumpkin pie frappuccino. We need 2 shots of espresso. If you don't have an espresso machine, you can just brew some very, very strong coffee, or you can use instant espresso powder. In a smoothie mixer or a blender, add 1.5 cups of ice, 1/4 of a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. If you don't have pumpkin pie spice, it is cinnamon, ginger. There is a higher quantity of those spices and a much lower quantity of cloves, nutmeg, and sometimes allspice. A dash of salt, and then whatever kind of milk you like. I prefer unsweetened almond milk, just enough milk to cover the ice. Add the 2 shots of espresso. Add 1 to 2 tablespoons of Torani pumpkin pie syrup. They do make another kind, which is pumpkin spice, but I strongly prefer the pumpkin pie syrup. Blend for 30 to 60 seconds or until the ice is completely crushed. I would straight up normally drink this right out of the smoothie cup because of my extreme aversion to doing dishes. But because we're being fancy, we'll put it in a nice cup. I don't usually go through the effort of putting whipped cream on top or any kind of caramel or anything like that. But because we're being kind of fancy, I decided to test out this plant-based whipping cream, which it tastes really nice, but it didn't really whip up all that well. Drizzle some nice honey on top or some caramel and enjoy. Next up is the Spumoni Latte. So I don't think that this technically totally qualifies as Spumoni because there's no real chocolate in it. But we're going to start out again with a double shot of espresso. We're going to add 8 ounces of whatever kind of milk you like for steaming and frothing. Again, I prefer almond milk. Once the milk is heated and frothed, we can go ahead and add our syrup into our espresso. You want to add it into the espresso before you add in the milk. So we're going to add 1/2 to 1 tablespoon of cherry syrup, and then we're going to add 1/2 to 1 tablespoon of pistachio syrup, just depending on how sweet you like things. If you really want it to be Spumoni, you can go ahead and add some chocolate syrup into the mix. After that, we'll just add our steamed milk and enjoy. Next up is the apple pie chai latte. Say that 3 times fast. So my favorite place to get tea is the Republic of Tea. They have a lot of really cool teas, but one of them that I think is really fantastic is this apple pie chai tea. So you just need to boil some water and then steep 1 to 2 tea bags, depending on how strong you like it. We're just going to steep it in enough water to really cover the tea bags. We want it to be fairly strong. While that's steeping, we're going to go ahead and steam and froth about 8 ounces of milk. Again, I choose unsweetened almond milk. Once the milk is frothed and heated, we can go ahead and pour it into our tea. The nice thing about this one is that it's caffeine free, so it's enjoyable at any time of the day. Hands down, my favorite fall drink is caramel apple cider. So for this, you probably want to use an apple cider that's more locally produced. I am using a Honeycrisp apple cider, which is kind of my favorite because it has a nice light apple flavor. It's not too sweet, it's not too sour, it's just right. I'm doing this separately, but technically it should be about 8 ounces of apple cider to 1 to 2 ounces of heavy whipping cream. I just have space constraints because of the size of my pitcher. Once the cider and cream are heated, we're going to go ahead and add 1 to 2 tablespoons of salted caramel syrup. You can use non-salted because I know that like the caramel syrup is widely more available, and you can use that one and just add a pinch of salt. The bourbon caramel is pretty good too. I just strongly prefer the salted caramel one. Something to keep me nice and warm because I live in Minnesota, and right about now it's starting to get a little bit cold and it's just going to get colder. Thank you for watching. Enjoy.